VC. What's up, guys? Back on here doing the Blue Note 1500 series, which me and Steven talked about, doing some different episodes, man. And yeah, man, these 1500s, man, that's the beginning. I do those 4100s, but the 15 just set the whole plateau. But yeah, this one's going to be on Sonny Rollins, 1558, released in 1957. One of the hallmarks. You talking about the lineup was amazing. You got on here J.J. Johnson, Sonny Rollins, a young Paul Chambers, which they recruited from Miles Davis. He used to play with Miles Davis, and Miles Davis gave him the big up. He's on here. Horace Silver, the great, incomparable Art Blakey, and you can't forget, which is funny for him to be on here, he's not a leader. Usually on all his albums, he's a leader. Thelonious Monk. Yes, Thelonious is on here, man. And he's really basically on really two tracks on here, and that's Mysterioso, and then of course Reflections. But yeah, I'm gonna start off with this one, Why Don't I? Why Don't I is a beauty, man. It just starts off out the gate. You could tell this is gonna be a legendary session, man. The players on here, it's just, they sound so good together. And it's hard to believe the virtuosity of Paul Chambers, how he's young, and he just, even Sonny is young, but yeah, Paul Chambers, he just adapts. But Why Don't I is just a nice pace, killer pace, man. They trade solos beautifully. And then number two, and then Why Don't I was written by Sonny Rollins. I'm gonna break that down first. Why Don't I, Sonny Rollins. That was written by him. Whale March, Sonny Rollins. Mysterioso, everybody knows, that's Monk. Reflections is Monk. You Stepped Out of a Dream, and that's Nacio Herb Brown. That's standard. Dexter Gordon covered it on A Swingin' Affair years later, probably like 5 or 7 years later. And then Poor Butterfly, which was written by Raymond Hubble. And that was early 1916. It was a Broadway play. Broadway, it was Poor Butterfly. But yes, I'm going to go to number two, Whale March. It starts off almost like a drum and bugle beat, like almost like a military march. And man, you talking about out the gate, man. It just flips on its side, and they just trade solos. They go right into the solos. It starts off real slow. You'd be like, man, what the heck is this? This is a military march? And then it just jumps into that just straight soloing, just showing that track right there shows you how great Blakey with the hi-hat, his timbre on the drums, man, the flow, you could tell everybody is just in cruise control. And then number three, Mysterioso. This is Monk and Horace Silver together playing. You could tell that Silver was the up and coming. You could tell he studied under the Bud Powell and added his little lingo to it, the Latin tingle to it. But Monk still has that fur grass, showing you that devil eye, showing that he still has control. This is his track. He said, you're not going to come in and just show me up. He pulls out his little tricks that, Monk plays. Reflections. And that's when it goes back to, the album Brilliant Corners, stuff like that. He did Friday the 13th. He did with Sonny Rollins. It's just basically Sonny Rollins and Monk. They just get into the mood, just playing, and it's like a ballad. And it just shows Sonny's top of his game. His saxophone is just purrs, man. During that time, you got the guys like Mobley and those up and coming, like, you had like Johnny Griffin's, guys like that, and John Coltrane, which was young. This guy here is what made John Coltrane practice all day, all night. His technique is just mind-boggling. And Sonny just sometimes didn't even believe he was that good. He stopped playing. That's when he did the bridge. Came back and played, but yeah, this is that sit back and chill moment. And then he stepped out of a dream. Oh, this is amazing. A great, great song. And then Poor Butterfly, the Raymond Hubble, from the 1900s, they put their spin on it. That's what's so good about a lot of the jazz artists. They always building on, and they love to just listen to all the different genres out there just to get a nice feel of how to play other tunes and put it into their, put it under their belt, put their own spin on it. But during this period, man, it just, oh man, J.J. Johnson on trombone, man, just magnificent. You definitely can hear him, how fast he can play. He did that stuff with, he did that album with Kai, Jay and Kai, they did their stuff on, Impulse and a couple of Columbia albums. And then that young Horace Silver, man, he's a Blue Note. But yes, Sonny Rollins. This copy here, I know you're looking at it, it looks like an original. It's not an original. It's clean as hell. I bought this, I want to say like 8 years ago in the city, in Chicago, at one of the record stores. I couldn't believe how clean it was. I saw it on the wall. And that was when I was in my Blue Note kick buying all those like Lee Morgan, but I saw this one. This is a 1967 on the New York USA label, which is so funny. I did a research on it. It's not a deep groove, no ear. Look how clean this is. I mean, you don't even hear no noise. No, it's so quiet. Probably one of my cleanest Blue Notes. And it's pretty much a rare one. It doesn't come up in Discogs, which is so funny. It has an RBG stamp, which is the Rudy Van Gelder, but it's a transition because it's not a deep groove on side one. But when I looked it up on the Jazz Collector, London Jazz Collector. That's another source of jazz you should definitely check out. Saying that this is the exact same metalwork as the originals. So when I got home and I threw this on, I was amazed how clear and I mean, for a mono, I love the jacket. It's not a glossy jacket, but it's no splits. It's so clean. One of my favorites in my collection. But yes, this is definitely an album you should check out. 1558. Sonny Rollins, featuring J.J. Johnson, Horace Silver, Thelonious Monk, Paul Chambers, and the incomparable Art Blakey. Yes, BC, man. Man, you talking about a lot of the great jazz stuff. It's some killer stuff out here, man. The Blue Note, I love doing these Blue Notes, man. It just makes you revisit. It has you revisit it and you learn a little bit more and more in depth about the playing. But peace, BC, peace.